I'm on a Henry Cavill algorithm at the minute, courtesy of Kay. It's all to do with Kay. She has destroyed my algorithm, and now it is 99% Henry Cavill.
Destroyed
I'm
or
mad at.
yeah, I was going to
Mad at
say,
it.
is that really destroy? Is this to do with your casting choices for the fairies
for the
and
fairy smut? Yeah,
sexy
it
fairies?
is basically. And also he's just so lovely. A lot of them are to do with like just chivalry. Like he's just really chivalrous,
He's a
and
good
it
dude,
just
isn't
makes you
he?
swoon, and it's ridiculous. But he's actually, before I think we were discussing this at choir the other day. We were like, before at least it was like a possibility, but I think he's taken now. I think he's like a dad. He's like doing that kind of thing. Gutted.
I never was laboring under the illusion that that was going to happen for me. I mean, I'm a married woman, but also like,
Yes,
yeah,
it can happen. Right, positivity.
I'm not the king. So,
Oh.
he keeps texting me and I keep telling him, look, Henry, I've told you
Henry,
before.
calm down. Calm down, Henry. Yes, he's amazing. But we're here not to talk about men, Cara. I'm sorry.
We are here to talk about women and one woman in specific. Yeah.
You ready?
You ready? Yeah, I am. So,
let's just cite myself.
how are you? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Looking forward to the weekend. It's Friday.
Yes, Friday night. This is like a nighttime recording.
This is we should have had like a really playful rock and roll kind of topic, and I have brought math. It's what I have brought, but
no,
math has to happen sometime. It might as well be on a Friday night.
Is it sexy math?
It's a sexy person with a beautiful mind and an incredible soul. Math, I'm still very ambivalent. Sexy. No, I can't get into it, but she was absolutely bang up for it. Loved a bit of the math.
Oh, okay. All right. You've opened my mind.
Go with
Let's
me.
Go.
Right. So, the topic, the lady who we will be talking about today, the topic being math, and the lady being Maryam Mirzakhani. Yeah, I mean, you won't be surprised to hear, based on everything we just said, that for me, math was like the worst topic at school. I was terrified, and I kind of have a bit of intellectual panic around anything to do with, maths and numbers. But it was a topic that was suggested by Robert Neuschel, and I kind of looked into her, and she's so cool and such a winning person that I thought, okay, put the math phobia aside. We're going to celebrate this person and her achievements. So
I'm so proud of you for doing that. That's pretty cool.
You have no idea how deep this runs. Like, this is school time traumas being put to right here.
Nice.
We are going to talk today about mathematician, professor, and Fields Medal winner Maryam Mirzakhani. Maryam was born in 1977 in Tehran, Iran. I will be saying that the American way. People are going to wince. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. I could try to say Iran, but it just makes me feel icky. So,
what did you say?
Iran.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice, to be honest. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, well, I could have gotten away with it.
You say Iraq, don't you? You say Iraq weird. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm about to say it, so we'll find out, because her childhood was during the Iran-Iraq War.
Yes.
And it was also during the Islamic Revolution in Iran. So politically and culturally, there's a lot going on around her, and a lot of it quite directly impacts on what women and girls can do, are encouraged to do, are expected to do, and are allowed to do. I'm not going to go into that whole sort of political area really at all, other than through the lens of her direct experience. What I would say is, if that's an area of interest to you, there's that graphic novel Persepolis that is set in Iran at that exact time in history, and it talks about the world from a little girl's point of view. And I I couldn't help having that in mind when I was reading about Maryam. So yeah, Persepolis by Marianne Satrapi, I would strongly recommend, because it does give you that kind of context of what it's like to be a girl.
Sorry, I bet a lot of our listeners grew up in the 80s as well. So at least they would have some like cultural like pinpoints and things.
Awareness, like of
Yeah.
world events that were happening. I've just realized that I got so swept up in it that I didn't talk about our sources for today. So very quickly, let me whiz through that. The good old BBC, there's a medium.com article all about her life. There was a material in Forbes and The Guardian, something called Quanta magazine, which I think is science.
Your new subscription.
Very intellectual reading. Good old Britannica. And the University of St. Andrews had a lovely piece about her as well. So those are our sources for today. And as I said, she grew up in a troubled time, that.
Yeah, of course.
You're referencing, we're all kind of culturally aware of.
It was a long war as well. Yeah.
It was. And although that was the picture outside of her house and in the world when she went out her front door, within her home, it was a very happy family. Her dad was an electrical engineer. Her mother was a homemaker. Who knows what she would have been in a different time, but what she was tremendously encouraging of her daughter's curiosity and spirit. Her brothers likewise tried to encourage her. And when they learned things at school, they saw she was interested in science and math and in whatever it might be, they would bring home material for her to look at and read. And reading was a big feature. So apparently as a child, she would tell herself bedtime stories about a remarkable little girl who went into the world and achieved wonderful things. She was a mayor, or she traveled the world, or she went on adventures. And so with that natural sense of imagination and love of stories, Maryam imagined that she would become a writer. There's a quote here about it, actually.
When I was a kid, my dream was to become a writer. I spent my most exciting moments reading novels, reading virtually anything I could get my hands on.
I mean,
I'm very tired, and it made me quite emotional. You talking about her dreams and stuff. I was like welling with feelings.
Oh, that's lovely. It is so charming, and it just gives you the insight. These women that we talk about, this so often features that they have this deep love of books, of stories, and of reading. And I think you and I both resonate with that. And I imagine lots of people will. There's an adorable little photo of her dressed up as a nurse. Apparently, she loved to read biographies of people like Marie Curie. And, she had a real appetite for women who were out there doing. It's unusual for a small child.
Yes. Yes, it's quite real for a small child. Let's talk about the
radium.
Let's talk about that poisonous element that Marie Curie found. It's a bit dark.
Maybe this is her marking herself out from a really young age as just having a rapacious curiosity about the world. She went off to elementary school, primary school, as you would say. Once she finished with that, though, she was allowed to sit the entrance exam for a prestigious school. It's called Farzanagan Middle School for Girls. And it was managed directly by the Iranian National Organization for Development of Exceptional Talents. So it was to foster the best and the brightest. Wow. At that time in Iran, I imagine that was a rare thing. And being in Tehran will have gone a long way to give her that opportunity. And she smashed it. Yeah. I mean,
it just shows the importance of those programs as well, doesn't it?
It really
how much they're needed. Yeah.
Yeah, to spot that talent and as we'll see, to bring it on and to bring it out into the world. So she got in. In the first week of school, she met her lifelong best friend, who was called Roya Beheshti. They immediately bonded, and they would apparently go off to the bookstores around the school during their breaks. I know. And they would buy, I know, they're so cute. They would buy whatever books were cheapest, whatever was on sale. So they ended up reading everything. It's so good, isn't it? This is adorable.
Cutest thing. These two little schoolgirls with their fuzzy little hair going to the bookstore.
Loving the books.
Their tiny little pocket money buying the really cheap books. Oh my God, I'm going to crumble. Oh my God.
Well, she and Roya would go off and do this. They also obviously had their classes. Maryam apparently didn't get off to a natural start with the maths. She, in her first year, had a teacher who told her that she wasn't especially talented in the subject, which apparently really damaged her confidence and
I can
made her
see
not very
why.
interested. It's horrible. It's a horrible thing to say, and it could have been the end of a remarkable story.
Right.
Because all it takes really is one person to kind of tell you, well, no, that's not for you. You're not good at that.
Especially when you're young and you're fragile and you don't have that thick skin and you probably haven't been told that before either. That's like new, that's a new data point for you to absorb.
Like a gifted child who probably is good at a lot of different things. It would be natural to just go, well, okay, I can't be good at everything. Fine.
But why would you say that to a little girl? Like, what are you getting out of that?
It's a really odd thing to have done, in my opinion. But luckily, the following year, she ended up with a different maths teacher, I would say a better maths teacher, who encouraged her, and her natural talent started to come through. So that was during her middle school years. And then in high school, still at Farzanagan, Maryam and Roya found a working paper, a practice paper that showed 6 mathematical problems from something called the Mathematical Olympiad, which is an international maths competition.
Like Olympia, like the Olympics of maths.
Yeah,
that's where we're.
The Olympics
of maths. How old is she at this point? Like,
she's probably
middle school age.
Yeah, just after middle school, so between 16 and 18 years old.
Fine.
Just finds this paper and they think, I know, we're going to have a little go at it. So they do.
Because maths is fun.
Maths is fun. Learning is fun. So they managed to solve 3 of the 6 problems without any, support or teaching specifically for it. And they brought this. I know. No, I can't actually. Barely scraped by it.
Because it's not a little problem, do you? No. You know it. The problem is like 3 lines, lol, isn't it? It's going to be.
Yeah, it's designed to weed out the average student from the truly mathematically gifted, and just without any, support, they knocked out half of them. They brought that along to their school principal, and they asked her for mathematical problem-solving classes. At that time, in the Iranian curriculum, that was only allowed to be taught to boys, or only typically taught to boys.
Oh. Mm-hmm. In the 80s?
Yep. Again, this is the Islamic Revolution, and the women had much akin to, I think, what's happening in Afghanistan now, kind of a rolling back of what a woman's role and what a girl's role should be. But her principal of her school said, no, we're going to do that for you. Used her sway and, as Maryam would put it, her positive can-do mindset to arrange those advanced maths classes.
Cool.
And previous to that, no girls had ever participated in the Iranian Mathematical Olympiad team, but the principal's work paid off.
The female principal's work paid off. Mm-hmm. And I think my immediate gut reaction is, if that was a man, I don't know if that would happen.
That's the concern, isn't it? That it's another example of the luck of having good support and good women around you to recognize the potential.
You need cheerleaders in your life. If anyone's listening there to this, oh my God, if you don't feel like you have someone supporting you in your corner, come hell or high water, go and get one. I'll do it. Do it, get it.
You're super good at it.
Yeah, but it's so needed, isn't it? Because it's not just the fact that she had a positive can-do mindset. It's she recognized that herself in that little girl, I bet, at some level, right?
And she was willing to fight for her.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, it worked because Maryam and Roya made the Iranian mathematical Olympiad team, which it was a tremendous honor, but it also is done on merit. Like they had to work to get into that position.
Oh, damn
they
right.
had to be good enough.
They're not letting anyone into the Olympics, Cara. You're not letting any sausage in there.
Exactly. It was a really, really big deal. So it gave Maryam both encouragement and recognition, but also an opportunity to go out and see the world, which from childhood was a dream of hers. All those adventures that she wanted were starting to happen.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So her first competition was in Hong Kong. Amazing.
Completely different as well. Like to Iran, like culturally.
Worlds away. Hong Kong in the 80s must have been mind-blowing. Maryam scored 41 out of 42 available points and won a gold medal. She did. And Roya earned a silver. So they represented their country beautifully.
Really did.
The following year in Toronto, Maryam got a perfect score of 42 out of 42 available points for another gold.
Yes.
She's doing
this is the girl who can't do math. She's the girl who is like, I don't think this is for you.
I think that teacher can't do teaching is what I think.
Yes,
but
that is the summary. Yes.
So that brings us up to 1995 and feels very contemporary, doesn't it?
It feels so contemporary.
Maryam is beginning to study for her degree in mathematics at the Sharif University of Technology in Tehran.
Yeah, also she got this Olympic medal without having a degree.
That level of competition was specifically for people of her age. So
okay.
Yeah, like there was a team in my school for academic decathlon, and it was you would go and do like quizzes and stuff with kids, all kids. So it wasn't an adult competition or anything, but it still was the absolute like gold standard, cream of the crop worldwide.
Nice.
In fact, there's a little bit about it here because her university place was funded by a fellowship from the Institute for the Promotion of Mathematics, who are deeply involved in that. So there's a little quote, a not so little quote here that talks about the kind of things you can expect if you're doing the exam for one of these fellowships.
Sure. What kind of topics should you expect? Well, that depends on your class, but don't expect questions straight out of a textbook. Classes 2 to 4, you'll see numbers, patterns, basic operations, time, and a few puzzles. Classes 5 to 6, think fractions, decimals, factors, and a bit of algebra thrown in. Classes 7 to 9, you'll need to know equations, geometry, and how to play around with data. It's very... Come on, guys. You know what I mean?
They're stoked. And I love it. I love that the phrasing, like play around with data, because I think it like personifies the approach that Maryam had throughout her career. For her, math was something fun and playful. So, we'll get there.
Yeah.
But at any rate, she was able to score highly enough to have her degree fully funded. And the university itself was one of the leading physical sciences universities in Iran. So, it's so the right place for her. She gets there, she meets all these other people who are just on her wavelength, these mathematicians, and they all became friends because they were so passionate about their topic. And they would have like little pickup problem-solving sessions for fun and informal reading groups, and literally just could not get enough of the math. She also, whilst doing her first year of uni and beyond, was busy publishing research papers, which is amazing. I know. My first year of uni.
It's so hard to do.
How? I was pleased if I could find a parking spot where I wouldn't get a ticket, or if I found a place that sold cheap sandwiches. It's
so true.
Buzzing.
You're surviving, you're living, you're learning to live as well.
Well, she went ahead whilst doing all of that, adjustment and freshman, concern and all of it, to write the paper decomposition of complete tripartite graphs into 5 cycles. So there you go. That's the kind of thing.
Those words meant.
Nope, not a clue. Absolutely Greek to me. Perhaps, a simple proof of a theorem of Schur. Okay.
What? Sure.
Yes, sure. Schur, who I
Schur.
assume is an academic in the field of maths.
Yeah.
So throughout her university years, she's published, is kind of the headline there.
Mental. Absolutely mental.
Insane. Whilst all of this is going on during the Iranian Revolution, she had the first tragedy of her young life, which was that a bus that she and some of the other students and a few teachers were on was on its way back from a competition and crashed into a ravine. So of the students who were on the bus and the teachers who were on the bus, I think that there were 9 deaths in total. Many, many, many people injured. She survived and went on to complete her degree. And I didn't see a lot about how this affected her, but she clearly is somebody who is not going to be stopped and sort of pushes on even when things are drastically, drastically sad.
The vibe I'm getting is it's like a calling. It's like she can't help herself but do it. She just has to get it out of her.
I think you're absolutely onto something. She was willing to travel for it too. She graduated university and moved to the US to attend grad school. When she got to Harvard, which is where she went, she had seminars led by a man called Curtis McMullen, who had just won the Fields Medal. This is not something I know anything about. So I've done a little succinct explanation in case anyone else is just like, the what now? So would you mind?
The Fields Medal recognises outstanding mathematical achievement for existing work and for the promise of future achievement. They are given every 4 years on the occasion of the International Congress of Mathematicians, and the laureates must be younger than 40 years old. So it's like the shiniest of the medals it's a big deal. Yeah?
It's a big deal.
What else is given every 4 years apart from elections?
It's kind of coming back to that Olympics vibe, that every so often they have this big international maths conference and they look around the world and they say, who are the young rising stars? Who are the kind of rock stars of the field right now who not only have done stuff, but we can see are going to go on to do more incredible stuff.
We should make that up. We should have our own little thing every 4 years.
Just recognize awesome people.
Just somebody who's doing something pretty cool and make it a laureate.
I love it.
That's that. Yeah.
Can we get a little gold medal minted? I think that would be.
I'm definitely got at least gold.
Up for this.
At least.
Here comes her professor with his freshly minted Fields Medal. He became her doctoral advisor and said that he was impressed by her imagination and her daring approach to problems. So I think that's forged daring to try new things and to push things and ask why and question more deeply.
And that speaks to the complexity of what she's doing. We're not talking 4+4, are we?
We are not. And in fact,
we are pushing the boundaries.
I'm about to push your boundaries, I think, because there's an enormous quote here. Enormous, like almost a full page. If you care to read it, what I did was, because I do not understand this field whatsoever, I thought, I want to know a little bit more about what her work was. So I went off on a little Reddit expedition and I found it explained like I'm 5, ELI 5. This is what hyperbolic geometry, which was her area of focus, this is what it's all about. So are you up for reading a mega quote?
In regular life, we look at stuff on flat surfaces, like the shortest distance between 2 points. If I want to walk from point A to point B, the quickest way is simply walking in a perfect straight line. Spherical geometry is basically doing geometry on the surface of a sphere instead of a flat surface. So now if I want to walk between 2 points using the shortest path, I can't walk directly between them in a straight line. The quickest way to fly from London to Sydney would simply be through the Earth in a direct straight line, but that isn't possible. So we must fly along the circular arc around the Earth. That's because, Cara, the Earth is round.
A sphere. Exactly so. We're better at this than we thought.
Hyperbolic geometry is like doing geometry on a saddle-shaped plane. If I want to walk between 2 points on this type of surface, I yet again cannot walk in a direct straight line, as I would have to walk between the surface and the thin air. Do I get that?
So if you were to stick a little star on the outside edge of the saddle, like where your knee would meet it, say, and you were to put another star on the other edge of the saddle, where the other leg would meet it, if you wanted to connect those lines, the quickest would be just like that.
We're talking about a horse saddle.
A horse saddle.
Right.
So
if you want to walk between 2 points of any type of the surface, I yet again cannot walk in a direct straight line, as I would have to walk above the surface on thin air, which isn't allowed. I must remain on the surface at all times. This means that the practical shortest distance between 2 points is going in a strange curved line. There will be non-parallel lines which don't never intersect. The angles in a triangle sum to less than 100 degrees. I'm going to cut this paragraph out. It's too much.
So this is the important one.
This is too much. This is too much.
I think the fact that it's too much is the point. The fact that even a rudimentary explanation of the mathematical world in which she was engaging, it's impossible. The point this person's making is that all the things we think we understand about math, about how many degrees the corners of a triangle add up to, about how spheres and planes and lines work, the fact that parallel lines will never meet and non-parallel lines will eventually cross. All those rules are gone. Hyperbolic geometry is absolutely bonkers. That's the takeaway. That's the single line. There's a picture that I've pulled in from a math journal. That to me looks like a dog toy. Beyond that, I've got nothing.
It does,
but she's working with this. This is where Maryam is playing in this wildly difficult, impossible to deal with intuition realm where none of the rules really apply. She makes herself at home. So her research, even at this comparatively early stage in her career, is bringing up new theories and overturning accepted thinking about how this all works. She had a dissertation about this called Simple Geodesics on Hyperbolic Surfaces and Volume of the Moduli Space of Curves. And I included that. Simple. I thought that was hysterical. Simple. Obviously, I don't understand probably the last 700 words that either of us has said. But people who knew, and they saw this was exceptional work, like once in a generation thinking. So it earned her the Leonard M. and Eleanor B. Blumenthal Award for the Advancement of Research in Pure Mathematics. She was offered a junior fellowship at Harvard, which she declined. She was given a Clay Research Fellowship, and that allowed her to have the time and space to think about things. She went off with this fellowship to become an assistant professor at Princeton, and she really relished that time. Here's something about her that I think everyone can get behind and appreciate. There's a much smaller quote here, if you would.
I am a slow thinker and have to spend a lot of time before I can clean up my ideas and make progress. Yeah. Because you're often criticized for being a slow thinker, aren't you? It's often like, make a quick decision, make it now. Capitalism, go, suck every second out of every day. And actually,
like hustle culture.
Hustle, baby. Yeah.
I kind of had a note here that the things that we associate, the words we associate with intelligence are, they're really quick, they're really sharp, they're really fast. Speed is a virtue. But here she comes and she's demonstrably an exceptional mind. And she's going, I just need to let things brew. I need to think about it. I need to work it over and work it over. And I found that so delightful and refreshing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So she used that time. It was fruitful. She produced many more papers all around that wacky hyperbolic geometry world that she loved. And then in 2006, she started a collaboration with a couple of other mathematicians, Alex Eskin and Amir Mohammadi. And the three of them did some huge breakthrough works in geodesics. And important as the work clearly is to people in that field, what I think is super interesting is how they and she worked. So there's another quote here from Eskin talking about Maryam as a co-worker.
Oh, she is very optimistic, and that's infectious. When you work with her, you feel you have a much better chance of solving problems that at first seem hopeless. Oh, that's great.
Isn't that delightful?
If that was on my performance review, I'd be classic.
No one's saying that about me, I'm telling you. But she came through such difficult things. I can't help but think that builds a certain reserve, and hope is such an active revolution, to be optimistic.
I was thinking she probably got it from her teacher. It's very similar, positive, can-do, optimistic, infectious. Like, they're very similar vein, aren't they?
Wonderful.
Maybe that teacher inspired her. I don't know.
I love that.
It's quite cool.
Like, I can see it like such a role model.
This picture you've got, by the way,
isn't
of
that
her like looking serene,
gorgeous,
beautiful,
in her element, absolutely in her element.
Look at those equations, man.
That makes me feel sweaty and stressed, but she's just, that's her spot.
The equations look beautiful, like all the loops and the brackets and it's a very calm image. I know obviously the background isn't, but it feels calm.
I think for her it is. It's a place of joy. And so there's a bit that I kind of noted down a little further along that talks about her seeing mathematical characters and objects as these characters in a kind of story, in a narrative. And apparently she would get these great huge rolls of paper and roll them out and sketch things that
I can imagine.
Well, like, you read that description of what this hyperbolic geometry involves. She's drawing things that by definition cannot be depicted, but it's beautiful. It is beautiful
and fluid and organic.
She finishes her fellowship. She is made a professor at Stanford.
Finally.
Yeah, right. About time. And at this point, she meets and marries Jan Vondrak, who is a Czech theoretical computer scientist and applied mathematician. So they're bonding. They're vibing on the maths. He's teaching over at Princeton. And then they had a little daughter called Anahita in 2011. So at the 2014 International Congress of Mathematicians, which you will remember is a big deal.
Big deal. They give out
Maryam made history by becoming the first woman and the first Iranian to receive the Fields Medal.
Nice.
So, strong. You know this is a huge, huge step.
And she's still so young.
She is very young, but so full of promise. And I think she didn't give an acceptance speech, but she did do interviews, and she talked in those interviews about what she felt was the most important thing for her to get where she did. So there's a little chunky quote there.
I was very lucky in many ways. The war, Iran-Iraq war, which lasted from 1980 to 1988, ended when I finished elementary school. I couldn't have had the great opportunities that I had if I had been born 10 years earlier. I went to a great high school and had very good teachers. I met my friend Roya Besheti the first week. It is invaluable to have a friend who shares your interests and helps you stay motivated. Also, our school principal was a strong-willed woman who was willing to go a long way, I'm going to cry, to provide us with the same opportunities as the boys' school. Oh my God.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh, and it's just so full of gratitude.
and recognition of others.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable testament to her character. How are you feeling up for reading another quote?
I think I'm just tired.
It is. I feel like I'm putting you through the paces today. I can do this one if you prefer, but I just thought it was a really interesting thing because when they were talking about this award going to Maryam, the Fields Medal panel really consciously chose to open that door to her as a woman working in the field of maths.
Finally. And it's like, it is good news, don't get me wrong, but it is like, we're in 2014 now. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Professor Dame Francis Kirwan, a member of the medal selection committee from the University of Oxford, pointed out that despite maths being viewed as traditionally a male reserve, women have contributed to mathematics for centuries. Yes, we have. She noted that around 40% of maths undergraduates in the UK are women. Yes, they are. But that proportion declines rapidly at PhD level and beyond. Why is that? There's so many reasons why that is and why that doesn't happen for men. I could go on. Quote, I hope that Maryam being granted this award will inspire lots more girls and young women in this country and around the world to believe in their own abilities and to aim to be Fields medalists in the future, Professor Kirwan said. Yeah, I get it. And I get that she's tried to put the stats in there, and it reminds me of that book Invisible Women that we're reading. Like, the world is not designed for us sometimes. And like, it's not our fault that 40% of maths graduates in the UK are women, but then it decreases. That's nothing to do with us. That is the society that has been built. Yet we're the ones having to fight for the society, you know.
I think that directly acknowledging it and saying we are deciding to take steps to do what we can to redress this, to change this. I feel,
and this all came down to a teacher giving her a shot.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, how many kids didn't get that shot? You know, it's I'm an emotional wreck. So how about you carry on? Because now I've gone from tired to cry to angry all in about space about 10 minutes.
Well, the roller coaster will continue, I'm afraid to say. Yeah. So we'll start with this. Maryam, throughout her career, was noted for her optimism and her collaboration. We talked a little bit about how playful she was in seeing mathematical objects as characters and stuff like this. Her colleagues also described her as humble, that she really only accepted honors because she understood that it would inspire other girls and women to follow that same path. But despite her not seeking those honors, they came. So she had her Fields Medal. She was given, I'm going to just run through this little bullet because apparently these are the big ones in that field.
It's like the Emmys, the Oscars.
The Emmys and the Oscars. The whole works. The Ruth Little Satter Prize in Mathematics, and she earned that in 2013. She was elected to the Paris Academy of Sciences and the American Philosophical Society in 2015, to the American National Academy of Sciences in 2016, and the American Academy of Arts and Sciences in 2017. She was invited to speak at the International Congress of Mathematicians again and again, including the plenary lecture in 2014, the year she was nominated for the prize and won. But sadly, even before she'd received the Fields Medal, Maryam had been diagnosed with breast cancer. She continued to work throughout her illness, which I think really goes to that point that you were making about vocation, about it just being her calling. And a lot of her work, her most significant discoveries, they were during that time when she was ill. Eventually, the cancer spread and she died in 2017, just 40 years old, which took from her loved ones, this wonderful woman, took from the world of mathematics this incredible bright star. And I know it's rough. So there's a quote here from her talking about her illness.
I think you're going to have to read it. I will cry.
Okay. So she says, life isn't fair. I was born in a loving family. I was born with a smart head and had good people around me. I didn't complain about how fair that is. Many people in this world don't have those things. So why should I complain now?
Oh,
Just brave beyond imagining.
yeah.
After she died, her boss, it would have been, the Stanford president, Mark Tessier-Levine, said that she obviously was gone far too soon, but that her impact as a scholar and a role model would be significant and enduring.
Yeah.
Do you feel up to one last quote?
Yeah. Her ideas will live on for the thousands of women she inspired to pursue math and science.
And he's dead right, because her legacy continues even now. There are other people out there working on the foundations that she laid. I've wanted to mention in particular two mathematicians called Laura Monk and Nalani Anarathanan, who this year extended Maryam's work on random hyperbolic surfaces, that old favorite. And it just goes to show those ideas, although they're already over a decade old, are generating new discoveries in that absolutely bizarre universe of hyperbolic geometry that she began mapping. So Maryam Mirzakhani's life, though obviously much too short, really shows that power of legacy, and her imagination and her perseverance and her intellectual courage can turn even these bizarre, abstract, and challenging topics into playgrounds that can be enjoyed and understood along the way.
And she was so lucky she found her thing.
She
found her thing and she ran with it as far as she could, as quick as she could.
I mean, see what you think about this, but I've got a sense that whatever she turned her interest to would have become her thing. I think this was a special thing that resonated for her, because God knows nobody would get involved in that if it wasn't. But she just seemed to be such a sparky, inventive, determined, like hard worker. If you can master hyperbolic geometry, what can't you do, you know?
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
But that's our gal. That's our gal for today.
Oh, well, she's wonderful, isn't she? And it's very, because I haven't even thought about the things that are not flat or need measuring. That has not entered my realm at all.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to think about these things, but I'm stoked that somebody's enjoying it.
Yeah. Like CAD wasn't a thing, all of that kind of stuff.
None of this could be mapped.
She was still pen and papering. Yeah.
Wild.
I love the pictures as well. The pictures are so, what's the word? I don't know. Like she shines in all of these.
Yeah.
Things, so it's pretty cool.
I think the word that comes to mind is intensity, that she's got a depth to her that comes through in those pictures. And, that joy in what she's doing.
What a cool cat.
Yeah, not a bad suggestion at all.
No,
that was a really interesting thing to research. My pleasure. Yeah. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry for the emotional
I think it's
turmoil.
I think it's me. I don't know. Like, I guess it is emotional as a story.
It is. It is sad, but at the same time, the things that she achieved and the way that she worked, I thought were so lovely. Anyone who advocates for slow thinking and taking your time, I'm on your side.
Yes,
immediately on that.
So new, and it also shows that it takes different strokes, right? Everyone has something to give and contribute, and you add value. Whoever you are, whatever you do in your own way, you add value, and that makes me happy. So yeah. Well, thanks, Cara.
My pleasure.
Thank you for listening to this episode of She Changed History. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Find us on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. If you've got any ideas of women you'd like us to cover in a future episode, please comment on the socials or email us at shechangedhistory@gmail.com.